that it's actually not showing yet. Where's Zoom? So I can go ahead and share my screen. Share screen so they can see it. Wonderful. Greetings, everybody. If you can hear the background, it's been storming here, so bear with me. Glad everybody could come in. Let me go ahead and make sure that Facebook is not Facebook, but YouTube is going. So, yep, let me type hello all to everybody. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's having a blessed Monday and other people will come in. I know there's a little bit of a lag um, on YouTube. So, anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. You know, we always open with prayer. We're going to get started with that. I do want to say in the beginning, one, thank you for your time. Two, for being punctual. Three, we will be discussing Africa and other markets that'll be coming up in the next week or maybe the week after. Today, we're going to talk about different types of farming methods, right? So today is just an overview. I'm just going to give you an introduction to different types of farming. So therefore, if you're interested in it, you will be able to do it, right? In the different ways you can do it, it's a variety of ways. Just so you will understand that, then we would dig more into business models, taxes. So I told you it would be like a 2-month series. However, in the meantime, as we go along, I'll start going into private Zooms and things like that. Hello, everybody on YouTube. I appreciate y'all putting in the chat so I know you can hear me. All right. Also, going forward on YouTube, I do want everybody to know that when it comes to YouTube, any social media, Instagram, Facebook, any of them, um, the presence there is getting ready to get more heavy. However, when it comes to videos going live and things like that, most of that is going to live on YouTube. When I have the chance, I will share it to Facebook in a private group. But once we break out into our private sessions for those who are actually going to invest, all that information will not be put online. It's enough that you can see what's happening. And if you want to join, you can, right? Self-explanatory that you will be able to see it. Um, but as far as live, so subscribers only are going to be able to see certain parts that are private, right? From what they're investing in. It's your investment too. When it comes down to other videos, I'm going to start explaining things. And guess where I'm going to put the videos? Inside of YouTube. When I can, or if I can, share it to Facebook inside the private group, I'll do it there as well. Everything in YouTube stays in YouTube, right? There's no expiration date. It doesn't stay for 30 days and then disappear. So it's much easier to keep it there. Private groups, private Zooms, all these things will be happening at the same time, right? Simultaneously. So I just want to put that out there that going forward, when we come down to who's investing, whether in South Carolina or Georgia or Alabama or in Africa or certain trips, everything is going to be housed differently. So make sure that you subscribed to Eternal Financial Journey. There is a rebranding going on that's going to match the names under one umbrella. That will happen shortly. When it happens, I'll let you know. Right? Everything we do here is kingdom. Everything is kingdom. So I want you all to be able to know that. Anybody who's requesting information, I will start telling them, hey, go to the YouTube channel. Because when I go live beyond these sessions, what I'm saying here, what I'm teaching on, Mondays and Wednesdays or Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm talking about in general when we go live, when I'm in Africa, when I'm anywhere in the world, that information will be here. Right. And then when we get to the part of whoever is investing and doing different items, that won't be for the public. Now, if you want to go show them and, if you want to come on the channel, if you want to come on the podcast, that's up to you. But if not, that's your private territory that you can do whatever it is that you would, you know what I'm saying? Or if you have your own social media, that's great. The collaboration is there. But certain things, your intellectual property, all that's not for everybody. That's all I'm saying, right? So I don't want to overtalk it. I just want you all to know that. So if anybody's requesting any information and they're not here on um on Zoom, I give that to people who requested and I send out the emails for that. But if not, and they're inquiring of information, they can kindly come to YouTube, the latest and greatest our sessions are here. The information is there. And if they have more questions, they're able to type, they're able to subscribe and follow. This is costing nothing. And they can go back and watch it. Okay. And as the nonprofit and other things develop in the next 2 weeks that you all know about with links and stores and websites and all that, they will be able to see it. Simple and plain. So anyway, thank you all for your time. Let me not overtalk it. Don't you overthink it. All right. So today, what are we talking about? An introduction to modern farming methods. We're going to talk today about different ways to farm, how and why this is beneficial to you. Yes, let's collaborate. 100%. Before I get started, I do want to say that this is about collaboration. This is about community. You're not going to do anything in life without relationship with somebody else, right? You're not going to, you can think you're going to add all day long, but you won't multiply unless you're in collaboration and community with others, right? So for those of you who haven't, if you would like to listen to the podcast, it's there for you. All right. I'll start plugging all that stuff in at the bottom of the YouTube channel. And it's here on the YouTube channel as well if you want to go take a listen. All right. It's on every platform. iHeartRadio, YouTube Music, Audible, um, Apple Play, Spotify, Boom Play. There's nowhere you won't find it. I'll tell you that. All right. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and pray. So, I thank God for that. Here we go. Heavenly Father, we thank you today for bringing us here. We thank you for the ability to grow, to learn how to collaborate, to grow in community with one another, to love one another. We thank you for the ability to learn, to grow, and build together. Bless this session and help us to receive insight that will nourish not just the earth, but our lives, our communities, and generations to come. Let every seed of knowledge sown tonight bear fruit, and let us be better people. It is so. In Jesus' name, amen. That's right. Yes. Anything we're doing, if it benefits you, then it might benefit somebody that you know. So what could you do? You could easily share it. It's free. You could share the links from YouTube. You could share the podcast. You do what benefits you. Okay. And if it's helping you, it could help somebody else. I'm not asking anybody for any money for anything like that. So I want you all to know our opening scripture tonight is the Lord will indeed give what is good, and our land will yield its harvest, right? And that's Psalm 85:12. Now, let me make sure that I'm on the right screen so we can get started. I'll come back and forth so I can look on YouTube and in Zoom to see if anybody's saying anything. All right. Now, um, welcome everybody tonight. I appreciate you coming. We're diving into an introduction of modern farming methods, both traditional and innovative. You don't need acres of land or a tractor to be a farmer anymore, right? We're living in a different time. With a little creativity, technology, and faith, you can grow a legacy right where you are. So we're talking about traditional and innovative. All right. That's what we're talking about today. I want you to understand traditional, whether some people like to say old school or innovative farming techniques, all this stuff with AI. Today is just an overview as we go along with the different types that we have on the land in Georgia and South Carolina. I will break it down more. But this is to help you get some ideas, to help you be creative, and to see if any of these pique your interest. Not that you have to do it. All right, great. Let's talk about the different types of farming. All right, let's talk about the why. Like, why would you do this? Food insecurity is increasing across the globe, even in developed nations. And you can say that the United States of America is a developed nation, but there's food scarcity. And why is that? First of all, you don't know what you're getting. The current administration, Agent Orange, has been running around here. You don't know what type of food you're eating, right? You don't know if it's something they grown in the lab. You don't know if it's something they made up. You don't know if it's fake. It don't have seeds in it. Something don't seem real. Okay. Now, that's for another day, another time. I'm just putting it out there. Um, it's unsustainable right now for a lot of people. Land is more expensive. Cities are growing and overpopulated, and the climate is changing, right? Half the time you can't tell the weather and how that's happening. One minute it's hot, the next minute it's cold. You don't know what's going on. You don't know if you're coming or going. You see what I'm saying? And that's why you have more cyclones, hurricanes, tornadoes, all these things are happening, right? So something that I want to ask, and a lot of people don't know, did anybody here know that urban farming is expected to grow by 50% over the next decade? 50%. That's crazy. Now let's go back in time for a second. That maybe your grandparents or your great grandparents, when they were younger, they had to farm of some type of way. And I just found out my daddy did it. Hey, well, guess where you're going back to, people? Back to it in some type of way. But it's smarter and better techniques, faster techniques now, right? Because as soon as the war happens and something happened, what happened? People start starving to death. They don't have the equipment, they don't have the resources, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the power to do anything about it. So, um, I'll just ask this. How many of you grow something already, right? Even if it's just a plant on your windowsill. Have you ever grown a plant? Um, back in the day, y'all know y'all used to see them commercials. Chill. Listen, have you grown anything, right? Because my daughter used to come home with stuff from school, um, and see all this stuff. Come home with peppers. She used to come home with plants. Even at the church, they would teach them how to actually, you know what I'm saying, like plant things. So if you've never grown anything, you might be wondering, well, how can I be get into farming? Not that you have to be a farmer, but you know what I'm saying? It is a possibility. See, yeah, some of y'all have. Some of y'all got a green thumb. Some of you don't, but it's all right. So with that being said, you have to know that food insecurity is rising, not just in the United States of America. The current administration, you can't get food from here, there, and everywhere. We have to learn to be producers, right? And less consumers. You'd have more money, you'd have more time, you'd have better health. Learn to be producers and less consuming. It'll make your life better. Now, we do have urban and high tech farming now. Even for business and investment potential, it's beautiful. This is the same thing that I'm going to tell you about today. It's happening in Africa as well. You know what I mean? The United States of America is not in the Bible. I don't have time to go too preachy on you right now, but the United States of America is not in the Bible. Why is that? As things unfold, it won't be there. That's for another time. Point is, and it could be under a new name. The point is, right, what I'm trying to tell you, you can do what you need to do. If you think that the US dollar is the strongest currency or the only place that you should be investing, you will be highly mistaken. Currency is not just money. It's time. You don't put all your golden eggs in one pot, okay? Because somebody coming. Clearly, you need to diversify, right? So that's some of the things that we're going to talk about. Now, the first one we're going to talk about today is traditional farming, which is soil based. All right, so let me slow down so you can understand. Traditional farming, this is the one we've all known about. You know, especially if you're an 80s baby, you learned about this in school, or maybe your parents or grandparents taught you about it, right? Um, this is what most people think of when they hear farming. They think about crops and rows, animals grazing, and fields stretching wide. You thinking about cows being outside, chickens running on the loose, pigs. You thinking about all that type of stuff. And whatever the EIEIO was talking about, that's what you're thinking of. All right. But there are other types of farming that we're going to go over today, right? So a fun fact is traditional farming can actually be sustainable, right? Especially when paired with crop rotation, composting, or natural irrigation. I'll get into that. So if you don't know what it means, it's fine. Um, I don't know if anybody here, if you or your family have land back home, right? Maybe in Africa or in the South that's not being used. If you did, or you knew somebody with land that they're not using, this could be an opportunity for you to go farm or to grow some things on it. Nobody should have anywhere an inch of land that they're not using for something. Now, sometimes in the city, you have ordinances and different things that you can't grow stuff in your yard. You can't have a farm. If you can't have your own farm to grow your own food, right? That should tell you right then you're not free. What type of tyranny? Like you're under. You have to know that you're not free. If you got to ask somebody, like you're not free, and there's ways to hide it. We're not going to say that right now, but the point is you can do this. Okay. So a business example would be leasing unused land for shared crop farming, right? With local families or youth groups. I don't know if you all realize it. I don't know what's happening in Tennessee, but I will tell you that a lot of schools are starting to do community gardens. They're growing food at the schools. Somebody should be teaching these kids, and and it's fine. You know what I'm saying? But at the public schools, they actually have community gardens. Sometimes at after school programs, they may have some type of community garden, community kitchen. It's different names for them, but something where they're learning how to grow food, right? Agriculture programs, something. Make it up. That's what I'm saying. They have this. I think it would be imperative, and it's a good idea for somebody. If you have a family garden, my grandmother used to have a garden in the back of her house with squash and I don't know, cucumbers or something, tomatoes and stuff. It was back there. All right. And that's a beautiful thing. Get back to doing that because you don't know what type of pesticides they're spraying in some of these places. Every time I turn around, it's a recall on lettuce or some type of meat, something. I think you'd be better off doing it yourself. That's all I'm saying. So traditional is soil based. It's you in the ground with a plow, a shovel, or something, hands and knees, going to work. All right. That's what traditional is. Let's keep pushing. Now, this is a picture of soil-based farming. It's just me trying to give y'all a visual, um, so you can see it. So for each of these, I will do that. Them bugs was wild. Yeah, they are. You know, and some people don't like being outside because listen, another thing that happens too is to a lot of people when they actually do this type of farming, um, sometimes bugs can be good because things are growing. You need the worms, you need this, that, and the other. But then you have squirrels, uh, birds and stuff, and they come eating it. Well, we got other options now, right? So you're not gonna be out of food. Even if you do it on the ground, soil based, it might be out of a little bit, but you'll be all right. See what I'm saying? I just wanted to give you all that example. Let's keep going. And see, she's smiling and happy out there. I'm telling you right now, year round, hey, you might not catch me doing this year round. Mm. Now, organic farming. What is organic farming? Right? Organic farming is about going back to God's original design. Natural soil, clean water, no chemicals. Yes, no chemicals. You don't have to worry about all these different types of cancers and stuff that's going around. Most people that have high blood pressure, cancer, anything is coming from the food you're eating. And in America, sometimes you can't help it. Now you understand why most people in America have certain diseases and you don't see them other places, right? Whether that be in Africa or South America, different stuff, because guess what? They eat fruits. Their diet is different. They have plenty of beans, okay? Rice, fish. They're not going around spraying all these pesticides and chemicals into things, okay? That's why. Um, some people are bigger boned, more meat. This is what I'm saying. Yes, I think that's a nice way to say it. Just a little bit thicker than most. You don't see these in other countries, right? Now, not saying you're not gonna see somebody big, but you know, I lived in Japan. I went to South Korea. I've been to a lot of places in my lifetime. And the first thing they say about Americans is, and they trying to be nice. And you ask somebody what's the first thing they think about Americans, and they always say, um, that they're big, that they're obese, and that they don't know how to act. Now, this is not true for everybody, but I'm just telling you. But especially in Japan, that's what they thought. I'm telling you the truth. This is what they said that they thought, because most Americans can't fit in their seats over there. And I don't know if y'all know, and this was about 2 or 3 years ago. 80 to 90% of Americans were morbidly obese. I don't know what's happening right now. I'm not here to degrade anybody. I'm just saying, right? Land of the free, home of the brave. It's a lot going on over here. And you see your current administration, and he's not that bright. So there's no telling what's happening with the food. All right. So organic farming could be a better option for most people because it's no chemicals, right? Here's a lesser known tip that people don't know. Certification is expensive, but you can do this even in a small backyard, right? Growers can follow organic practices and market it locally because it's simple. Natural soil, clean water, and no chemicals. This should be the easiest thing for people to do, right? So a business scenario would be you grow organic peppers grown, you can grow them in raised beds, right? I'll start showing that Wednesday. You can sell directly to health conscious families, whether it's via WhatsApp, Instagram, your own store, food market, a grocery store, whatever you want to do, you could do it. All right. So I just want to put that out there. So when it comes down to no pesticide or GMOs, people love that, right? And we'll start talking about what compost mean and all these other things. Today's just an overview to give you a picture. All right. Now, right here, organic farming. Why do we have pictures of these chickens or whatever, up here? Because they sit there and eat grass fed. Nobody's going around giving them hog mog and all this other stuff or whatever you feed the pigs, right? So that's what I mean by that. See, y'all laughing on YouTube. I'm just trying to tell the people the truth. That's what's happening. All right. Now, let's keep going. Now, this is where it gets good at. We're going to talk about hydroponic farming. What is hydroponic farming? No soil. Hydroponics is growing food and water with added nutrients. I'm getting ready to show you a picture. Don't even panic. All right, so some examples gonna be lettuce in trays. I got videos and everything to show you today. This is gonna be good. They shorts, they about 30 seconds. I'm not gonna be here all day. Make sure you're following the YouTube channel because I will be posting other ones that give you a step by step. So if you want to see more in depth, you can. It'll be right there on the page. So on YouTube, you have your live videos, you have videos, you have the podcast, you have posts. You will see different sections that you will see all these things in different areas. Come there and play around with it, get lost, have a good time. Okay, great. Now, did you all know that the hydroponic system use up to 90% less water than traditional soil-based farming? Because when you're doing regular soil-based farming, you got to water the stuff each and every day, unless it's raining in your area every day. Well, you ain't got to worry about no high water bill with this one because it uses 90% less, y'all. That's almost 100%. 90% less water than this irrigation to take for these other farms. And that's cool. So here, as you can see, this right here running along, this is actually like a pipe and it has water flowing through it at the bottom. I'm getting ready to show a video, so hopefully it works so you can see it, right? And here you see lettuce growing out. And this is what we call a hydroponic system. And you can grow fast this way too. This down here may be dirt, but this up here is not growing in dirt. It's just sitting, it's water flowing through here. And you feed it nutrients that's in the water. So let's take a look and see if this video gonna work. Y'all hang on. All right. Let me see. Were y'all able to hear that? Let me go to YouTube and see. Were y'all able to hear that? I know you all can hear that on Zoom, but I don't know if you were able to see it because I want to know before I go playing other videos. Let's see. And then I'll wait for them to answer and then I'll come back. But anyway, that's what hydroponics is. It's just basically no soil. You just grow it in water and you add in the nutrients. All right. And then in the video, as you can see, when that happened, and you can have this inside of a building, inside of a container, wherever you want it, and you can control the temperature. All right. Now, let me see if they answer. We're getting ready to go to aquaponics farming. Y'all on YouTube, were y'all able to hear that? Were you able to hear the video and see the video? Did it play? While they answer that, let's keep going. Aquaponics, right? Aquaponics farming. Aquaponics combines fish and plants, okay, to grow in harmony. The fish waste feeds the plants, and the plants clean the water. All right. So let's go with tilapia and catfish, right? They are popular for fish for beginners because they're easy to keep. They live long, they get big, and people love some tilapia and catfish, okay? What can you grow on top of that? That's going to be your actual plant, whether it's lettuce and basil. That's a good system because they grow fast. Lettuce and basil will grow very fast with tilapia or catfish. All right. So a business example would be church groups or school settings use aquaponics in classroom or greenhouse and selling to the communities. And it's very easy to do. I'm getting ready to show it to you, but this is called aquaponics, right? And I'm getting ready to show the video to you. Let me see if they can hear it. They said yes. Okay. So now this one is aquaponics. What is it? Fish and plants together. Really, y'all. Fish and vegetables, okay? Whatever. So lettuce and basil grow very well like this. Let's watch this video. It's a short.
Hey everyone. Quick update on our aquaponics system. We caught native bluegill and tilapia using worms and small hooks. The fish create waste to feed our plants, and in return, the plants clean the water. Our lettuce and tomatoes we planted are thriving in our little big man aeroponic chamber. Follow along for more.
Now, that was short. There's no need to watch it again, but that was short. But that happens a lot. I'm going to show you better quality stuff on Wednesday. But for people who want to do like fish farming, you could do both because while the fish are down there, that same water is regenerated and it feeds. And as you see, they did lettuce and tomatoes. But whether you're doing lettuce, basil, onions, all these different things, they grow very well. So that's another way of farming, and that's called aquaponics. Now we're going to go to vertical farming. This is the one that a lot of people like, that you can grow it in your house, on your counter, outside. It don't matter. Up to you. All right. This is less space, is beautiful. A lot of people like to do it. So what is vertical farming? When space is tight, think up. Vertical farming stacks plants on shelves or towers or often with LED lights, right? So if you had a warehouse, you could do this. If you want to do it in your kitchen, you could do it. If you want to do it in the basement and use some LED lights or something, you could do it, right? So here's a scenario for you. Renting a unit in a warehouse and growing microgreens for cafes and chefs. I don't know if you all know or not, but microgreens make a lot of money and they only need about 2 to 3 weeks to grow. Make a lot of money and quickly. People love some microgreens, right? So depends on where you're selling it. Also, a lesser known benefit about this is it can be completely indoors. You don't have to be outside to do it. That's right. Indoor farming, gardening, whatever way you want to see it, right? So perfect for people in apartments or colder climates. Okay. If you're in Canada, Russia, wherever, and it's cold, you can do this inside your house. That's right. Okay. You don't want to go outside with the frostbite, worrying about if you're gonna be missing a finger or if all your little plants gonna die. This is for you. So a scenario is you're renting a unit in a warehouse and growing microgreens for cafes and chefs. That's cool, right? So who would this be for? Do you live in a small space but still want to grow something? Vertical farming might be for you. Question of the day is, would anybody try vertical farming? Okay, I'm gonna play another video so you all can see it. Let me check YouTube and make sure we're good. Okay. Now, I think this is the one my mama wanted to do, but vertical farming, this one is very lucrative. This will be happening in South Carolina and Georgia. I want you to know that. Let's see, it's gonna play.
Vertical farming is a 21st century space-efficient form of agriculture. Using aeroponic towers and as-needed nutrient-rich watering systems, It allows maximum yields in very confined growing spaces.
Did y'all see how much they had in 30 days? Crazy.
Farming is a
Yeah, when you see it twice. Crazy. But you can do it. All right. Permaculture. Y'all stick with me. We ain't got too much left. I just wanted to show y'all the overview today, and then I'll show you the top 4 types that we're going to do on the land in Georgia and in South Carolina and Alabama, right? And these same systems are going to be used in Africa, that's in Egypt, Ghana, and the Gambia, if you end up investing over there, right? So I want you all to be able to see that. Anyway, next, permaculture is the art of working with nature instead of fighting it. Think of a forest. Everything feeds and supports everything else. So I'm gonna show you what permaculture is, right? So it's just mimicking a natural ecosystem, right? And I'm getting ready to show you a picture of that. So most people call them food forests. So if you ever been walking through um, a vineyard or a forest and it's got different apples, peaches, nuts, or something, right? Everywhere you look around is just food, and it does it on its own, just from rain. As you know, trees are deeply rooted in the ground, and they're able to tap into water resources. And these things, you don't have to do nothing to it. Produces it by itself with natural ability. That's what permaculture is, right? A food forest. That's what we're going to show today. All right. So a fun insight. Banana circles, ditches for water, and edible landscapes are part of this type of design, right? So someone with a backyard food forest feeding their family for free, and maybe they sell herbs to local spas. It means they didn't have to do anything. See, back in the day, when people, I hate to use the word plantations, but when on different places, when they had just trees and different things growing, back when your grandparents actually grew trees and, had a garden and stuff, it would be something like that. So let me show you a picture because I think that's better. I'm gonna show you an actual video so you can see it. You see how you can walk through here, but you see all this on the ground, and then they have things up in the trees too. They didn't do this. These trees naturally produce these type of things. So let's show you this video so you can get a better understanding.
There is a huge 100-year-old food forest where practically endless amounts of free food just falls to the ground and almost no one even notices. This is the John Hershey Food Forest, completely neglected for over half a century.
Since Hershey left us, little bits of loveliness are left. These are prolific producers with no care whatsoever.
You would not recognize that you are in the middle of this extreme food production system.
You've got this walnut that actually has 3 different varieties grafted onto it, hiding here behind the daycare center.
This is probably enough fruit and nuts for the whole town. It feels like a park. And in fact, this actually is currently functioning as a park. No irrigation, no fertilizing. These trees have their roots deep down in the soil. This is the future of food.
All right.
There is a
Now, with that being said, anytime you go somewhere, right, and this dates back to the Bible, and say when I went to Dubai, right, and I seen palm trees. It's not the same palm trees that you would see in Florida, right, in Miami or in California. They're different. But anytime you see a palm tree, you have to know that there's a water resource there. So the palm trees in Dubai and places like that, that's what dates come from. So in the Bible, when they're talking about uh the land flowing with milk and honey, it's not coming from bees. It's coming from dates. So those type of trees that produce those are food forests. And even though that tree is so tall and you like, oh, it don't get that much shade, it produces fruit. If you ever go to the Caribbean or to the islands and you see, I've seen this in Bali, right, in tropical places, bananas growing out of trees, oranges and things like that, they're everywhere. They can go up in the tree and eat whatever they want. Mangoes, coconuts, things like that. Trees that produce like that, whenever you see that, you have to know there's a water source and a good water source because otherwise it wouldn't grow. And that's even in a desert. That was just a fun fact. Let's keep pushing. Regenerative farming. All right, what is it? This method heals the earth using practices that improve soil, capture carbon, and promote biodiversity. Right? Improve soil, capture carbon, promote biodiversity. Most of you all who ever have plants, you should know that helps you breathe better. It helps you as well as energy as well. Um, Lesser known fact that most people don't know, even a backyard chicken can regenerate your garden soil. You need that. Um, Here's a scenario. A veteran run regenerative farm using cover crops and compost to sell vegetables and eggs locally. This will make sense when you see the video. But basically, for me, what this means is like here in this video, you're gonna see some people buy goats, um, and chickens and stuff that eat grass. They don't pay somebody when they have acres and acres of land because, and they even have businesses where you can rent goats and they will come chew your grass and they move them an acre every day. And they just do that. And it saves them over $20,000 a year in getting the grass cut. Just saying. So chickens, they eat, all these animals that are grass fed and stuff like that, they just bring them out there. So if you know some animal that can eat this up and start a business, this might be an idea. But a lot of people are doing this, especially when it comes to farming, because it's a good way to feed them. And it helps you with your soil. The poop for the fertilizer, I don't know if people know it, but people buy chicken poop, rabbit poop, cow dung. They buy these things because they need it for fertilizer. So if you're there, this is some good free fertilizer for you.
Generative agricultural practices here on the homestead to rebuild the soil. We move our chickens each and every day to help do this. This is where they were today. As you can see, the amount of disturbance they did in yesterday and the day before. And as you go back each and every day, you can see that the grass is getting greener, more fertile, and stronger for the next generation of animals that will be grazing. Regenerative agriculture works.
So that's what I mean. About a lot of people do use that and it's very good. You make a lot of money from that. Just looking at it, you wouldn't think that, but you will. Um, and some people, you can grow hay and make a lot of money that way too. The horses got to eat, them cows got to eat. Some people make their own chicken feed, different types of food, right? So I'm just giving you ideas. Now we only have two more, so let's keep pushing. Container farming. This is another big one. We're going to do this one as well. All right, what is container farming? Imagine growing an entire farm inside of a shipping container. It's real and it's growing fast. This is happening in a lot of places. So when they're telling you that you can't um, start farm somewhere or you can't use the ground or this is not, say if it's commercial use and not agriculture use. Well, you can do this inside of warehouses, outside of warehouses, outside your house, put it in a container home. Nobody can stop you. All right. So the good insight for this is it can be moved, right? Say somebody have a disaster and they out of food and but you know what? You got a container and you got a generator. That can solve some problems. Maybe refugee camps. This could solve problems. Or food deserts, or year-round supply. So, and it's mobile because if you want to hook them up and put them on an 18-wheeler, you could do that as well. So, container farming is a big thing. I'm gonna show you a video here, but you could do this. You could partner with a school, a hospital, whoever, to provide fresh greens all year. Could it be more than greens? Yeah, it can be whatever you want it to be. But this is just to give you an idea of what you can do. So you don't have to be in the ground, right? If you don't want to do vertical farming and you don't want to do the forest and all this other stuff, a simple container. You can buy one and make money that way. Start a store. Okay. You could check this every 2 to 3 days. Totally up to you. You could have a store right next door to it. As you see in that one, they had the LEDs in there. You can do that. You could be in the middle of Arizona. I know a few friends that do it, and they grow all type of food all year long. And as you know, it's scorching hot out there. However, they got to have food too. So think about it. If somebody can hire you to bring in lettuce, greens, watermelon, whatever you want to grow in there, because you can control the temperature. Um, Microgreens, it wouldn't matter. Do you think they would do it with you and you being able to reproduce this food every, 3 days, every 10 days, every 30 days, or are they going to keep going 3 states over? You could easily get contracts. You could easily do um, all of these things, right? And then schools and stuff like things like that is more healthy. You can train other people. It's a lot that you can do, totally up to you. This will be available in South Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama, right? Some of these will be available in Africa too, depending on location, because they have rules and regulations as well. Now we're gonna get down to agroforestry. This is the last one, and then I'll show you the table, and we can wrap this up. But I did want you all to know about these things. So agroforestry integrates trees, crops, and animals, right? Just like many African villages still do today. Trees, crops, and animals, right? So shea butter, moringa, um, cacao, all these things are needed, right? Um, is plenty more businesses that we got in Africa. I'll tell you about that later. But these things work. Just like you see this chicken here, what's on the ground? Fruit. The tree is producing the fruit. That's what the chicken is eating, right? So trees, crops, and animals, that's how that works. Um, and I'll just show you this short video here, and then we'll go from there.
Agroforestry is more than just farming. It's farming with trees. In an agroforestry system, trees, crops, and even livestock work together to create a sustainable ecosystem. Trees provide shade, prevent erosion, and improve soil fertility, while crops and livestock thrive in this balanced environment. Farmers benefit from higher yields, healthier soils, and even extra products like fruits, timber, and fodder. Agroforestry is all about working with nature for better farming and a healthier planet. Interested in sustainable farming? Subscribe for more information.
So that's just short and sweet what that is. Now here's the comparison table that's going to help a lot of people. So these are all the different types that we went through today. I guess agroforestry got cut off, right? So it'll tell you whether you need soil or not, right? Hydroponic and aquaponic, that's water, so that would be a no, right? Vertical farming, maybe, maybe not. There's different options for that, right? A container, same thing, because there's pretty much kind of still vertical farming, right? But if you're doing organic or traditional, yes, you're going to need soil. Difference is organic, just no chemicals. All right. The water usage, it'll tell you which ones are low. Vertical and hydroponic are always low. Aquaponic is purely in water, so it's still medium, but none of these are high, right? Space. Traditional, if you're doing something on ground, you're going to need the room, right? Potatoes, carrots, wouldn't matter. You need the room. Hydroponic and vertical are the smallest ones. You don't need a whole lot of room for that. They grow big, but vertical, you're going up and down. All right. Hydroponic, you can put as many holes and make it as big or small as you would like. So in a container, you don't need that much room either. You can have a certain amount of rows in there, right? So whether it's hot, cold outside, it wouldn't matter. You can grow year round in your house. So that's nice. Now, traditional is ideal for what? Rural, if I can get it out, rural and large landowners, right? If you don't have land, you might not want to do traditional style. Hydroponic, they could be inside your house, they could be in your backyard if they allow it, right? Um, Aquaponic, that's fish and plant business, right? That's what that's ideal for. Vertical, that's for your house, that's for whatever you want to do it for, okay? Organic, if you're more health conscious, that's a great option for you. Container, that's for yourself, pop up, local supply, however you want to do it. But the option is there. Just putting that out there. What type of business opportunities exist with this? You don't need $1 million. All you need is a good strategy, and you're going to be able to make money. All right. God, I'm not going to throw money to you, but He'll give you ideas. So this can help you today decide if you want to invest in the land, which type of farming or gardening or tiny homes. Like we get ready to get into all of that. What you would like to do, which what sector, and if you want to do more than one, why not? Okay. So startup ideas, income, you know, whether you're doing delivery, education, subscriptions, training, it wouldn't matter. Whatever you want to come up with, right? So whether you're selling herbs, microgreens, starter kits, if you're going to lease container farm, host classes or workshops, whatever it's going to be, you will be able to do it. So all I want to know today is, and y'all can put it in the chat, which idea caught your attention? And could you see yourself doing this part-time or full-time? Right? So what did you see today that made you say, hey, I would try this one? Did you see any that you would like to try? Or are you more for tiny homes or modular homes or something like that? The cabins, like what's on your mind? Okay. And while y'all are answering that, I'll keep going. We got two more slides, people. Personal and family scenarios, right? So farming is generational. It can be generational. It teaches patience, discipline, and stewardship. I'm not telling you today that you need to go be a farmer. I'm not telling you need to get into farming. I'm not telling you need to do plants. This was simply to give an overview so you can see some of the things that are going to be happening on the land that can help you do whatever you would like to do. Because there's more farming techniques than that. Like I say, Wednesday, we're only doing the 4 that are going to be on the land. I told you a few of them today. This is teaching you how you can save, how to be healthy, healthy habits. You can do this on your balcony. You can do this on a rooftop. You can do it wherever you need it, and it's going to help you save money, right? Potentially save your life. Okay. Are there challenges? Yes. This should be cut out for you because when it comes up to the startup cost, water and power or learning curve, we're there. We're going to have the people to teach you. You're not bringing the water there, so you don't even have to worry about it. It's in your lease agreement. There is no startup cost because the greenhouses are going to be there, the containers are going to be there. So if you want to do it, you'll do it, and if you don't, you won't. Right? So we're going to be having the tech. We're going to have the training. That takes away from you having to do it. Now, if you're doing it on your own, that's up to you. All right. So, but we'll have the peer support and training. We're going to talk more Wednesday about solar panels and collecting rainwater and things like that. All right. So next class, business models, taxes for farmers. Actually, I'm gonna wait on that because um we'll be doing that the next week. But from vertical tours to backyard food forest, you can start anywhere, right? So if you want to do vertical, whether that's in your house, whether that's outside, you want to do them outside on your acres, inside of a greenhouse, inside of a container, you want to do it on the soil, you want to do organic, you want to go out there and play with them chickens, maybe you want some goats. I don't know. You'll be able to do it. You'll have the opportunity to do whatever um works for you. Does anybody here see themselves maybe growing cabbage, lettuce, watermelons, um, peaches, strawberries, something? Do you see yourself growing something? Right? Totally up to you. Wait a minute. Totally up to you. Oh, tiny homes. Okay. Yeah, and that too. What do you see yourself doing? Um, you know, if you wanted to do a business, what business do you see yourself setting up? Or are you just gonna grow it for yourself? And that's fine. You don't have to sell to the market or be online and sell to nobody and do all that type of crazy stuff. It's up to you. We're just giving you options. Okay. You could be cleaning teeth. I don't know. It wouldn't make a difference. I'm just giving options as to what you could do. So next week we're gonna start talking about water sources, uh water generators, wells, rainwater, and irrigation. Solar panels for sustainable use. All these things are going to be there. It's not just good for one person. It's good for everybody, for the youth, for technology, for advancement. A lot of this is going to be used with AI. This is a good training opportunity as well. And we're going to go more into the different types of tiny homes, the prices, um, as well as the cabins, the prices, and to see who's going to do what who's interested in what, and that'll give me a better idea of what I'm dealing with to get you all the correct prices. Simple as that, right? But I would need your feedback. So that you're gonna have to just say. Um, so Wednesday we'll discuss how to set up off-grid systems. There's no way I can do all this in 1 hour, but each week we'll be going more into it so you can understand it. Today was just to teach you about the different types of farming available to see which one you would like. Next, we're moving on to the water and the tiny homes, and I'm gonna show you pictures, videos, whatever I can. Make sure you're following the YouTube channel so that you can see it, right? And it'll give you in-depth so you can see which one you like. So when you see the prices, you can say, okay, this is small size, this is medium size, this is tier one, this is tier three, because I'm gonna give you a tier system. I need you to know what you're doing and actually come look at it. And I appreciate that. We got 15 subscribers now. It'll grow when it's supposed to. Okay. And if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. All right. So next week, bring ideas. Make sure you're listening. Well, actually, it's Wednesday. We're going to talk about water wells. We're going to talk about generators, things that if anything happens, say the government wants to say they ain't going to give out water no more. Well, as long as there's air on this earth and we can breathe, we'll be able to generate it and get it. That's what we're going to talk about, right? So I don't expect you all to go be farmers tomorrow. You don't have to be. But if you want an idea, if you were going to lease land, this should have helped you today, um, in many different ways. But tiny homes, I'm excited about that. I'll be able to show you that. It's going to be on the foundation. It won't be on wheels or anything like that. It'll be cemented. Okay. So that's wonderful. So closing thoughts today and prayer is he who gathers crops in summer is a prudent son, right? Even ants know how to do this. That's from Proverbs 10:5. So let us close in prayer. Father, thank you for opening our eyes to what is possible. Thank you for allowing us to see the different types of farming and what we can do with our hands. May we never be idle. May we take these seeds of knowledge and grow them into harvests that bless others. Help us steward the earth, our resources, and our communities well. Help us to help somebody else and build generations of legacy. It is so in Jesus' name. Amen. I just want to take this time just to look and see if anybody have any questions, but I do thank you for your time, for being punctual. Took a little time today to get through this. I'm going to give you your day back, but I do thank you for what you sat here with me and gave me your time. I will be putting this up in Facebook here in a second. Remember what we're going to talk about come Wednesday. And to God be the glory for everything. Thank you for your time. Let me make sure I ain't got nothing going on in Zoom. But for everybody else, I surely appreciate you. Oh, okay, I don't see nothing yet. All right. So y'all have a blessed day. Any questions, y'all can always come back to these videos. Put any questions at the bottom. I'll see it. I'll come back and answer it. Right. And if I don't have the answer, I'll go get the answer. That's simple. Y'all share this. Um, Send people to the YouTube. Tell them to subscribe. It's only gonna help them. And then we get ready to go up and finish the stuff we got going on in the States. And then we're gonna roll on so I can show you the stuff going on in Africa. It's a beautiful evolution. Um, Hope y'all ready to invest. All right. God is light. God is love. Y'all be blessed. Thank you.